People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Baird dads. Buenos días a todos y gracias por venir para nuestro día de los papás, los abuelitos, los tíos, los amigos familiares. Thank you, dads, so much for coming out. Dads, grandpas, uncles, family, friends, neighbors. Thank you so much. We're going to ask the dads who are getting their food to please just come find a place to sit. We have a lot of room on the patio. And we're just so glad to see you. This is really wonderful. For those of you I haven't had the chance to meet, I'm Valerie Martinez. I'm the very lucky principal of this wonderful school. This is my 10th year here. I'm only 21, so it's kind of miraculous. Mr. Wong, why are you laughing at me? I find that strange. So this is the first year that we have scheduled Dad's Day and Mom's Day in the fall. And we did that because we wanted to really invite in all of our new dads to the Baird family and to give you an opportunity to just be here with your child and to be able to experience some of what makes Baird so fantastic. And if you look around this patio, all of you are what make this school so great. And so I thank you so much for coming out today. I love Mom's Day, and for me, I think because my dad is not on earth anymore, there's something about Dad's Day that really does my heart good. And there were other friends' dads who stood in for mine, I can tell you, throughout the years, and so I think that's very, very special. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker to you today. I'm very proud. This is the first Baird dad, to my knowledge, who has been a speaker at Dad's Day. And so would you please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jeremy Vaccaro. Jeremy is a Baird dad, as I said. He is the pastor at First Pres Church downtown. And I learned he just got his PhD. That is a lot of work. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing his message of encouragement today, as I know all of you are. And so please again, give a warm welcome to Mr. Jeremy Vaccaro.
Well, good morning, guys and kids, students here at Baird. So great to be with you this morning. I really count it a privilege to be a part of this event. I really think it's a great event, so thanks to the Baird administration and the Baird teachers and all the volunteers and all you men who are here this morning and who braved the nice, warm, toasty weather this morning. If I'm shaking, it's not because I'm nervous, it's because I'm freezing, and hope that you're getting warm this morning. I come to you in two capacities this morning. First, I come, of course, as the speaker this morning. I want you to know that I consider this to be a real privilege, a real honor. I'm humbled to serve in this way. I've been praying all week that the words that I might say this morning would be an encouragement to you guys and to everyone here this morning. But that really matters to me because I want you guys, I want all of us to be the very best men that we can be for the kids who are sitting right around us and all over this amphitheater or this patio this morning. And that matters to me not just because for you personally and for your kids, but it matters because I'm here with you as a dad. I'm one of you. I have the privilege of being here with my youngest daughter, Rebecca. She's an 8th grader this year. And I also have the real honor this morning of being a stand-in dad for Maddie, whose grandpa passed away just before last year's dad's event. And so it matters to me that I'm the best man that I can be and that you would be the best men that you can be for your kids. And this is actually, as Mrs. Martinez said, I am a Baird dad. I've had 3 kids that have come through here. Rebecca is our last one. Caitlin and Andrew are up at Bullard High School now. And so this is actually my 7th straight Distinguished Dad's Day. Anybody got more than 7? Yeah, okay. So this is my 7th year to come and dig through the bagel bowl for the strawberry bagels and see if there's any of those in there. It's my 7th straight year to step into the classrooms for a few minutes and get a sense of life at Baird. It's my 7th straight year to be a part of this community of men. Men who have all kinds of different backgrounds, all kinds of different stories, come from all kinds of different places, but men who have one thing in common, and that's our desire for our kids to be the best that they can be. So we have that, we share that desire of care. That's why you're here, right? You're not here just for strawberry bagels. You're not here even just to grab a few extra donuts when your wife isn't looking. You are here because you care about kids, about your kids, and about this school, and that's why I'm here too. And let me just say, men, that your presence here, it really matters. Your presence matters. I was given an incredible gift that I didn't deserve, that I didn't earn, and that gift for me was having a great dad. I grew up in a little town called Woodlake, about an hour south of here. My dad was the superintendent of schools there. He had a busy job, but he still made time to be present in my life. He wasn't present at every single game or every single performance or every single event, but he was also present in my life outside of those events and outside of those performances and outside of those events, just in everyday life, being present in my life. And I'm forever grateful for that gift that he gave me. But I'm also grateful because he wasn't alone in that. I'm the product of many different men, a community of men who were present in my life. My teachers, my coaches, the fathers of my friends, the men of my church who cared about me, who listened to me, who encouraged me. Some of it I've already seen happening at my table this morning with other guys that I'm sitting with. None of those guys were perfect. My father wasn't perfect. None of those men were perfect. But so much of who I am today was shaped in a positive way by that community of men, including my dad, who were very intentionally making their presence known in my life. Your presence matters. And I know that not every one of you has that same story. I know that some of you have endured incredibly difficult lives with very little support, very little presence, and yet you're here. And I just want to remind you that every one of us, no matter what our story has been, has the opportunity today to write a new story, to write a different story, to write a great story with our kids and this school. We have the opportunity to be that kind of community of men who help the kids of this school know that they are loved, know that they are appreciated, know that they are supported, know that they're not alone, know that they have God-given potential, know that we believe in them, not based on their performance or their academics or their behavior, but just based upon who they are. That's the kind of story, guys, that we can write together in this community of men, in this community of students. And students, by the way, that's the kind of story that you can write for your school. That's the kind of environment and culture you can create here at Baird. And I don't know about you, but that gets me excited. That kind of gets me fired up when I think about the potential of this group, of all these men together working to make a difference in the lives of students. It makes me excited to think about the difference that we can make in our homes and the difference that we can make here at Baird Middle School. So just by being here this morning, guys, I just want to say you have taken an incredible step towards that difference, towards that vision of being that community of men that supports our kids. So thank you for that. Your presence this morning really matters. But I want to share just 2 things humbly that I think will help us take that impact to the next level. That will kind of help us level up in our presence and the way that we are present. Because being present is a wonderful and important first step. But there's a way that we can be present that I think helps to level that up and impact in a greater way. And those 2 things are listening well and speaking life. Listening well and speaking life. The first way we can level up our impact is by listening well. One of the things that, and by the way, you're listening very well right now, thank you. One of the ways that everyone needs, one of the things that every one of us needs is to be heard. Every single one of us needs to be heard. And one of the things that's happening in our world right now is everyone is shouting, everyone is tweeting, everyone is posting, but I think we've kind of lost the art of listening. And I believe that our kids often are getting lost in all of that noise. But when we listen well to kids, when we hear them out, it helps them to feel valued. Listening well. When I was a kid in Woodlake, there was a man who was very respected in our community. His name was Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen was tall, had massive hands, was a very successful businessman in our community, involved in community leadership, with school board and city government and all kinds of things. Very well respected in the community. Also, Mr. Hansen was a member of the church that I attended. And one of the most important and impactful things in my life was when Mr. Hansen would stop me after church, particularly when I was a teenager. And he would ask me how I was doing. This is a man that my father looked up to. Literally, he was way taller than my dad, but also because of the kind of man that he was. And this man would stop and ask me, a teenager, how I was doing. He would ask me a question, and then he would stop and listen to my answer. And guys, that made a massive impact in my life. That made a difference in me. It helped me grow in my confidence. It helped me grow in my communication. It helped me grow in the reality that I mattered, that this guy would care for me. And it made a big impact. He was one of the community of men who listened to me. So now I try to emulate that. I try to live that out. I try to listen like that to my own kids. I try to listen like that to your kids. But to do that, guys, I think one of the things we have to do is, for me, I've got to put my cell phone down to listen like that. I can't really listen well to my daughter and look at my cell phone at the same time. Even if I can repeat the words that she says to me, she doesn't feel cared for when I'm looking at my phone. So to listen well, I have to look her in the eyes. I have to put my phone down. I have to turn the TV off. I have to shut the game down or whatever. I have to give her my attention to listen well. And I think we've got to learn three simple words that are extraordinarily powerful, that communicate tremendous care. And those words are simply, tell me more. Tell me more. 3 words that communicate a great amount of love. Tell me more. And then listen. Those are ways that we can listen well. And if we listen well, if we put our phones down, if we direct our attention to the kids, if we say, tell me more, then we can level up our impact, our presence for the sake of our kids. So just for you to think about, how are you doing at listening well to the kids in your life? The second way that we can level up our impact is by speaking life. Speaking words that build up rather than tear down. I think one of the things that we often forget, man, is just how powerful our words are. If you're like me, if you have a wife, your wife maybe talks a lot more than you do. Mine talks like 6 times more than I do. I forget that my words really matter. But our words are powerful. And our words can give life, or our words can take life. Our words can build up, or our words can tear down. When I started high school at Woodlake, I went out for the football team. That's what kids did in Woodlake. I was super excited to go out for the football team. And I was made the starting quarterback, which was kind of a mistake, I think. But I was made the starting quarterback, and I was pretty proud of that at first. I kind of held my chest out a little bit, like, I'm going to play quarterback. But pretty soon, I ended up to hate being the quarterback, because it put me in the center of my coach's attention on every play. And my coach that year, I was 14 years old, and I never played organized football before. But when I would make a mistake, he would grab my face mask, and he, in front of the whole team, and he would say, Vaccaro, you are horrible. Vaccaro, you suck. That's what he would tell me. And then we'd line up and have to run sprints because I made a mistake. And I'll just tell you guys, those words, they didn't build me up. He wasn't saying that was a bad pass. He wasn't saying that was a mistake on the decision that he made. He said, you suck. You are horrible. Those words didn't make me feel better about myself. They didn't make me perform better. They actually made me hate myself. They made me hate my coach, and they almost made me hate football. Words have power to build up or to tear down. What kind of words are you using in your home? What kind of words are you using when you're talking with your kids? When you speak to your kids, we need to speak words of life, words that build them up, words of blessing, words of encouragement, not words that tear down or beat down or put down. In my faith tradition, there's a story in the Bible about Jesus when he got baptized. And it says that when Jesus came up out of the waters of baptism, he heard a voice from heaven that said, "You are my beloved Son. In you I am well pleased." Jesus heard words of life from his Father in heaven. Can you imagine how powerful that must have been? For me, I think that's the perfect example of a father speaking words of life. And one way that we can level up our positive impact on the lives of kids is to speak words of life into them. Speak words of blessing. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm well pleased with you. You are my grandson. You are my nephew. You are my son. I consider you like a son or a daughter. I am excited to be with you. I love watching you play. I love being with you. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. Those are words that we can use to build up our kids. Not because of their performance or because of their good behavior, but simply because of who they are. So men, we have a tremendous opportunity. I mean, I just look around. I'm with Mrs. Martinez. This is an exciting event. We have an incredible opportunity to be a community of men who help our kids and the kids of this school to thrive. You've already taken a huge step towards that by simply coming out here on this frosty morning and being here and being a part of this time together. And if we can pick up the habits also of listening well and of speaking life, then I believe someday we'll see these kids, when they're grown up and old like I am, to stand up in front of their peers and tell stories of the impact that you have made on their lives in a way that they can pass on to the generations that follow. So I'm hoping that that's what you'll step into today. I'm hoping that's what I've stepped into today. And I'm praying that that's what happens with this community of men. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. Really glad that you're here.
Thank you so much for that message. Listen and speak words of life. You have me tearing up over there. Thank you so much, dads. You are so important in the lives of your children. I can't thank you enough for being here. Jeremy, thank you so much for the time you put into considering what message to bring, and we can remember those two things. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank our Baird moms, some of whom were out here at 6 o'clock this morning, getting the place ready for you today. I want you to know all of these tables were covered yesterday and then had to be recovered again this morning because of the moisture. So thank you to all of our moms who did that. And my right hand, where is Mrs. Kerr? Is Gabby out here? Where's Gabby? Gabby, come here. This woman takes care of all of you. She takes care of me. This is my office manager, Gabby Herr, and she runs the place. We could not do what we do here without all of the support that we have. Just like Jeremy talked about, all of the men that are in our kids' lives, that were in our lives, to really just be guides for us and supports and to speak life into us, right? Gabby, oh my God, we couldn't do it without her. So whenever you call the office, say, "Hey, Gabby," and just speak life to her, because she puts in countless hours and I love her so much. Thank you, Gabby. With that being said, please grab some more coffee, some more to eat. You can visit your children's classrooms. We will have extra chairs in the classrooms. For those of you who are able to stay, we know that not all of you can, but thank you again for coming. We appreciate you.
People let let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend.